Watching some serious soccer right now.
Morgan, out of all of her goals, 106 has only scored on 2 penalties. She doesn't really take them normally.
She hasn't had a lot of touches tonight. It's a big call.
She wanted this.
We get a free kick. We live on Twitter.
Moving the ball.
Yeah.
They're checking the foul.
We're live.
That's why.
We're live.
The referee can go over and look at it herself, or she can
Woo!
get information.
See if she hits this kick.
She makes the final
A little different time today, a little earlier.
on either that information or her looking as
I mean, soccer. Let's pick up the pace here. Let's pick up the pace. What is taking so long? This is ridiculous. I just want to see this penalty kick. I don't know what we're waiting on here.
closer together.
Jeez Louise. I didn't even know soccer was on until I flipped on the television. They closed Mary's Pizza Shack in the Creek. I'll be honest, I've never been there. Pretty good.
Has another angle that we don't have here in studio that's able to see no contact on that. But taking a look at it, there's
I'm not sure what's going on here. But Jesus, I love replay more than the next guy, but we got to get it going.
and it's right there.
Let's see.
And the follow-through might get that.
Okay, well, we got NBA free agency. Daryl Morey going after Jimmy Butler. I mean, come on, Daryl. He ain't coming. Smart by Jimmy Butler to drum up. It's very smart by Jimmy Butler. You got to drum up the market so you can ensure your 5-year max from the Philadelphia Sixers. Because I'll tell you this, if he gets 5-year and the full max from the Philadelphia 76ers, he ain't leaving. I'll promise you that much. He ain't leaving. What did Leo say once upon a time? I ain't leaving. That's what he'll say. I ain't leaving. KD bounced. KD's gone. I mean, KD's been gone. He's had a foot out the door all year long. Now he's got a torn Achilles. But the great thing in the NBA is that you have no liability. When you're a good player, you're going to get huge money anyway. So he's going to be fine. We got a penalty kick right now.
She stuck with her decision. It wasn't clear and obvious to overturn it.
And now Rapinoe's going to take it instead. So I wonder if
This is
when they went.
Clay ain't going anywhere. Everyone wants Clay to go because they're jealous of what is happening here in the Bay Area with just the Splash Bros being an equaling greatness. I get it. Stephen A. Smith says he wants them on the Lakers. Like, come on. Who the fuck wants the Splash Bros to break up? Jealousy. I mean, that's what it is. A lot of jealousy in the NBA. Draft 2 players, develop them, make them superstars. Fuck. Everyone can. Not like either one of those guys were number 1 pick. Pick 7 and pick 11. See if this chick can hit this shot.
1-1 game.
I think she's going right.
Referee's telling Rapinoe
I would not max out Draymond, no. I might trade Draymond. And I love Draymond. He's one of my favorite players I've ever watched consistently in my life. But I can't pay him $200 million. I'd probably trade him right now and just kind of restart everything. This game's on rerun? This is not live? Are you serious? I'm watching this on rerun? I mean, fuck. That was rerun? I was pretty locked in there. That was a rerun? Shows you how locked in I am on on Women's World Cup. That was a rerun? It felt live. I mean, it really did. It felt live to me. God damn it. No wonder, because they were talking about playing Friday. Makes a little sense now. I was into that thing. So, I mean, the main thing right now is Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard might stay. Klay Thompson ain't going anywhere. No one cares about Tobias Harris. We've seen he's not good enough. Tobias Harris is not good enough to make a difference. He was given the opportunity to make a difference in the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs and could not hit a shot. So I'm so tired of hearing about Tobias Harris. Like, that's NBA fluff. That's NBA nerd fluff. Tobias Harris ain't a difference maker. Now, he might get overpaid, but we've seen in a nut-cutting time, when a series on the line, he can't hit it. He can't hit water if he was sitting in a boat. So I don't want to hear about Tobias Harris. You want to talk about Kyrie, Kawhi, Kevin, even though he's not going to be able to play next year, I'm game. Not Tobias Harris. If we're talking about Tobias Harris being a role player, Like, will he sign for $10 million to go to the Lakers? Then I'll talk about it. But I ain't talking about him at $25 million. Because you sign Tobias Harris for $25 million, you're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to get throttled. So that's one name I'm a little tired of hearing about. The Milwaukee guy, if he stays, then we'll talk about him. But if he leaves, I don't even think he's that big of a factor. EaseWellness.com. Go get it. Go get your CBD. I just took a couple CBD drops right now. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. Go get your CBD. CBD, CBD, CBD. Go get it. I just took it. I love the uppers. Makes me feel great. Makes this mind just fire. Just fire it. I'm locked and loaded. What else I got for you? HairClub.com. You don't want to look like me? Because I don't want to look like me. It was just forced on me. I didn't choose this life. It chose me. HairClub.com/him. All I need you to do is sign up. Don't even need you to spend any money. Just go sign up. HairClub.com/him. HairClub.com/him. Again, you want to keep your hair? Go get it. You want a Sleep Number bed? I actually just got lunch downtown Walnut Creek, and I walked by a Sleep Number store. I was like, these are partners of mine. SleepNumber.com/him. We got a bed. Everyone has Sleep Number beds. They all love them. I get them to you for cheap. SleepNumber.com/ham for cheap. SleepNumber.com/ham. Go get your bed. Go get beds, get your hair, get your CBD. I just give you good deals on sweet shit. Trying to lock up some other cool sponsors in the middle of it right now. Just try to give, and then I give a little more. Because I know you guys like receiving, cheap deals. So let's start with NBA free agency. Daryl Morey. This guy is just an absolute horror for the Stars. Bro, just build a goddamn team. Your team keeps coming up short. You're going for Jimmy Butler. You know the reason that you were going to give the Warriors, it looked at one point in time like you were going to win? PJ Tucker. You know what PJ Tucker is? He's a winner. PJ Tucker reminds me like an Iguodala, a Draymond. The Cavs never really had that guy. But someone you need in the playoffs to win. You have to have that guy to win the playoffs. You can't roll out Tobias Harris. You will lose. If you roll to a game with PJ Tucker, you got a chance to win. You roll to a big game with Tobias Harris, being your third or fourth best player, you're going to lose. So the Houston Rockets going to trade PJ Tucker? Are you out of your mind? To get Jimmy Butler? Who I like Jimmy Butler, but he's going to get along with over-the-hill Chris Paul and Moody James? Come on now. What is Daryl, the media's GM, who everyone refuses to be critical of, what's he doing? And two, why would Jimmy go to the Rockets? Why would you just stay with the Sixers and get your 5-year max? Why would you go to that team with that mess, that just debacle, and take less money to do it? And part of you going there means their team's shittier. That's the other thing. The only way you get there is either they sign and trade for you or trade the players to make the space. They can't sign you and keep their team together. That's what, looking back on the Warriors, made that so unique for Kevin Durant. It's not like, hey, Kevin, you can come, but we got to get rid of Iguodala and Livingston. We wouldn't have been the same team. Well, the Warriors were like, hey, Kevin, just come. We're just our squad's ready to roll. That's not the case with Jimmy Butler and the Houston Rockets. So you go to the Houston Rockets, you got to get rid of some of your best players. It makes no sense, but classic Daryl Morey move. I also think Daryl's being used a little bit in this because I don't think he's going to sign Jimmy Butler because I think Jimmy Butler's just going to stay with the Sixers. He just wants to make sure he gets that 5th-year money, which I don't blame him. So he's got to use some of these other people as leverage. I actually think that Daryl Morey's getting played a little bit right now, getting played for the cash. And when you're a whore like Daryl Morey and always going after the big star, in theory, Chris was an over-the-hill guy when he got him and then he overpaid him. But I just don't even understand it. It doesn't make any sense. I think Morey's so overhyped. The media just loves giving him the daily HJ. Oh, Daryl Morey. What has Daryl Morey ever done? Honestly, the James Harden trade was impressive, but what did he really give up for James Harden? And he's even admitted, I never thought he was going to be this good. So they just traded for a good player who was a sixth man who the Thunder didn't want to keep. So I'll give him some credit. Now, looking back, a lot of other teams should have been more aggressive. But again, they didn't give up that much. That was one of the most one-sided trades ever, especially because James got this good. But even at the time, it's like, what are you, Jeremy Lamb? What are you getting? And again, Daryl Morey has said over and over, I had no clue he was going to be this good. MVP-level player. They knew he was a good player, and they traded a little bit for him. It wasn't really that, and they paid him. because he wanted to get paid. So the Chris Paul trade is a disaster, is an absolute disaster, because the best year that Chris Paul's ever going to have was 2 years ago. His hammy yanked, and that cost him the finals. This year, again, just not good enough. Now he's overpaid. And then these next 3 years, you have this albatross of a contract that you can't trade. So you have an over-the-hill player making $40 million that cripples your team. It's one of the worst contracts we've ever seen signed in NBA history. In NBA history. The only one that's worse is John Wall, and John Wall got everyone fired. Every human got fired because of John Wall. Well, Daryl, this contract that you signed, and we had a wink-wink deal. Well, fuck, wink-wink deals are no good when it's actually time to sign a contract. Be like, Chris, we're not giving you this much money. And look what the Clippers got. They got Montrezl Harrell, they got Lou Williams, they got Patrick Beverley. Like, the Clippers, who won that trade? I'd say the Clippers. JR to the Lakers, I don't understand that one. But LeBron just likes playing with his friends. I've never seen a guy at the highest level that just likes playing with his friends more than LeBron James. Like, LeBron, you're fucking LeBron James. You're trying to become and have a legitimate argument for the greatest basketball player ever. Why do you need J.R. Smith? We just saw you with J.R. Smith 2 years ago. He cost you game 1 of the NBA Finals when you had like 50, 20, and 15. Arguably one of the greatest single performances we've ever seen in NBA history. LeBron James game 1, where he broke his hand, allegedly. And JR cost him the game. And now he wants to bring JR. Now JR does have, quote unquote, some fit because he can shoot threes. JR didn't even play last year. They kicked JR off the team. They said, do not come around. They just banned him from the team. And now LeBron wants him on his team? What are they doing? Like, why do the Spurs and the Warriors never do the shit LeBron does? Ever. It's outrageous. To bring, I can find you, go sign Seth Curry. Why do you want J.R. Smith? What are we doing here? But again, when you let LeBron run your franchise, you do crazy, dumb shit. And it used to be cool when it worked. It's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. I get do what you love, but maybe LeBron needs to open his horizons on acquiring players. One of the worst GMs we've ever seen in NBA history is LeBron James. Is that arguable? Best player, worst GM. Awful GM. Man. Who's coming back and linked to LA? I got so many conversations going on right now, I can't even keep up. Melo to the Lakers rumor, shake my head. Melo's, I would bet $100 right now Melo's on the Lakers next year. JJ Redick would be a better fit. Go sign JJ Redick and Seth Curry. And pay JJ, see if we'll take 10, 11 million bucks, get Seth Curry for like 4 or 5. That's good signings. Carmelo and J.R. Smith? I'd argue that friends are bad for business most of the time. Especially as business gets bigger, it gets complicated. Especially in something like the NBA, it's very difficult. The national media loves LeBron James. And in fairness, he makes them relevant. Basketball is not as relevant when LeBron sucks. And that basketball took a major hit this year. People were not watching. LeBron wasn't playing. It came back to earth. It said hello to baseball. Like, the only difference between baseball and the NBA and the NBA right now is this stuff. The free agency stuff's awesome. But, like the sport, people weren't watching. Ratings historically low, down 20, 30% on like TNT, ESPN. Like, it was bad. It was a bloodbath. Now, Adam Silver loves doing the okey doke and going, look over here. We know more of the word owner. Look, Adam, they fucking own the team. Just call them owner. No one gives a shit. But they're too worried about the wrong stuff. They're playing to the PC crowd, and they're getting throttled in the ratings. And it affects the product. It turns people off. And I did see Adam Silver. I'll give him this. He's always willing to change. Now, most of the time, it's for the wrong things. But, like, you can't play 82 games anymore. Your regular season is not... It's one of the worst. I thought last year was one of the worst products I've ever seen in my life. It was the worst NBA product I've seen since I started watching the NBA at like 5 years old. Like that was a horrendous product last year. From Halloween to whenever the playoffs started. It was unwatchable most of the time. You could probably count on one hand the good games for the season. I mean, the Warriors played in like 5, and they were the marquee team. Played in 5 real games of 82. Like, that's a problem. I'd even argue 72 might be a lot. Why not like 60? You could argue that 72, you don't even need 72 games. Make it 60. I'd do the same thing with baseball. How many games do you want to play in baseball? 100? 115? You can't oversaturate people. I actually think that's a problem with Netflix right now. I go to Netflix, and I love it, and I've invested 5 figures in Netflix. I've invested a lot of just side money in Netflix. But I'm last night looking for something to watch, and it's just oversaturated. I can't even find anything good to watch. And then I do find something good to watch, and then I find out it's like a France film, or it's a foreign film, and they're not even speaking in English, which I don't necessarily mind. But if you're going to watch a subtitled movie, you can't really play on your phone. You got to really focus. And I was like, I don't have the time to watch a show that has seasons that's not in English. But I can't even tell the difference because it looks like it's in English when I click on the show. It's gotten I'm a little nervous for Netflix. Netflix needs to peel it back, to cut, you get too much, quantity's too high. Go quality. Just go less shows, fucking elite shows, and dominate. The Office isn't leaving Netflix, though, for 2 more years. The Netflix thing is bothering me. The stock was up today, so I didn't cash out. But if that thing gets to 400, I might cash out. Let it come back to earth, buy back in. But my guy Reed Hastings is going to need to change because it's a jumbled mess right now. Why is baseball dying? It's slow. It's just we don't do slow things in 2019. Now, I'm not saying that's the healthiest thing. Sometimes I'll just go to lunch and I'll just leave my phone at home. It'll make me help me disconnect a little bit. But it is what it is. I like urgency. I like pace. Like I'm watching baseball games, it's just slow. Nothing's on the line. Like nothing matters in any of these games. Nothing. We like things that matter. It's why we like the NCAA tournament. It's why we like football. Every game matters. Why we like college football. Every game matters. Why we like golf majors. There's a lot on the line. The NBA regular season, the ratings were down because even the best teams were like, yeah, the regular season sucks. The Warriors were like, yeah, we can't even focus. Kawhi Leonard was like, yeah, I'm not going to play in many games. Anthony Davis was like, I quit. LeBron James was like, yeah, I get pulled a growing, I'm out. Now, he might have been, he was hurt, but how legitimately hurt, no one knows, but he missed a while. No, not using the word owner, I don't even understand who that impacts. Seriously, who does that impact? Because if I'm like LeBron James and I'm talking to Jeannie Buss, I don't go, hey, Mrs. Owner. I just say, hey, Jeannie. If I'm Steph Curry and I talk to Joe Lacob, I don't go, hey, owner. I just say, hey, Joe. When you talk to your boss, if you work for a company and the dude that owns it, you don't call him the owner. You just go, hey, Mr. Johnson, or hey, Bill. You just call him by his name. We're humans. Like, I feel like the NBA is living on social media. Because that is such a social media type deal. Even if you work for crazy-ass owners like James Dolan, you just say, hey, Mr. Dolan. You just talk to him like human beings. This is not like, he's the owner. We can't talk to him. No, you just fucking talk. When I worked for the Eagles, I'd be like, hey, Mr. Lurie. You'd be like, call me Jeffrey. Hey, Jeffrey. You just had normal conversations. Treating people like people. This is just, the most overblown thing is like everyone hates everyone. That's just not true. It's just not true at all. No one calls the owner the owner. Unless you're at a function or something and you're like, yeah, that guy owns the team. Which literally the guy, whoever the owner of the team is, owns the team. But you call him by his name. I'd call my boss anything if he paid me $30 million a year. Why can NHL players play every night but NBA players can't? Hashtag, as Kobe said, soft. I think it's a softness. I think it's a culture now in the NBA that the players do whatever they want, whenever they want. I think it also speaks to how irrelevant the regular season games are. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. And Silver needs to try to fix it, but instead he's worried about the wrong shit. He really is. And as an NBA lover, it makes me nervous. I stopped playing DraftKings. I enjoy DraftKings more than I ever would betting on a game. DraftKings is a little, actually, more fun to me than betting on the NBA. I don't mind the shorter NBA season. Like, that's a legitimate conversation. That's smart. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand all these people. Like, if you were legitimately injured and can't play, you can't play. But if you're getting paid $1 million to do, that's a lot of money, obviously, a shitload of money in a big time job. If you can go to work, usually go to work. That's what you're being paid to do. I pay whatever. If I pay Andre Iguodala, I pay Andre Iguodala to play basketball, not to just be Andre Iguodala. I pay him to play basketball. $17 million a year. So if he can play, I want you to play. That's what we do. That's the fucking business, to play games. That is the business model, the games. And I think the NBA has actually lost a lot of touch with the games not mattering. That's a huge problem. And I think that gets into why Adam Silver wants to cut the season. It's why the NFL wants to fucking add to the season. Because their games draw so much interest and so many eyeballs where you go, why don't we just play more games? Now, I do think there's a slippery slope of the law of diminishing returns, and you got to be careful. But if you went 2 buys, I could do 18 games. I think comparing Chara to anyone in the NBA, though, is, to me, like Klay Thompson would be the only guy that you would put on that level. I don't know how anyone in their right mind would say that Baker Mayfield's better than Andrew Luck. How could you even come to that conclusion? Baker Mayfield started like 12 games in his NFL career. 12 games in his NFL career. They say he's better than Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's been in the playoffs like 8 times. I mean, legitimately. His rookie year, his second year, his third year. He's been in the playoffs 4 times in his 6-year NFL career. 6 or 7. Well, he missed 1 year. I think he's only missed, as a full-time starter, missed the playoffs 1 time. Think about that. As a full-time starter, he's missed the playoffs 1 time. And they're going to say Baker's better than him? What are we talking about? I'm so mad that game wasn't live. I was really into it. I can see why people get into soccer. I was on the edge of my seat. I would trade anyone to the Dodgers for the right players for sure. You can get Baker right now 25-1. I actually saw some interesting odds. I kind of like Andrew Luck 8-1 because if they win the division and they win 12 or 13 games, he's going to be in the mix. If the Browns win the division, that means that Baker was really good. Adding Odell, you got the tight end, you got Jarvis, you got Chubb. They could have a big year on offense. I actually kind of like Baker 25-1. You got Matt Ryan coming back. Their team's pretty loaded. They got a ton of guys coming back from injury. I think Matt Ryan's kind of a sleeper at 25-1. And then just some of the long shots. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, 80-1. That's not crazy to throw like $100 on. I mean, he was a legitimate in the mix guy to start last season, and then he tore his ACL. Now, do they have enough weapons? I don't know. But if you tell me San Francisco wins 11 games, he'd be in the mix. And then my non-quarterback would be Khalil Mack. Because if the Bears win like 13, 14 games, are the number 1 seed in the NFC, and he'd have to have a big year. You'd have to have like 17 sacks. I think you could make the argument. But you could also argue betting on a defensive player to win the MVP is not good money, because it's not. I mean, one time it happened, Lawrence Taylor. But that's what Khalil Mack would have to do. Yankees sweep the Blue Jays, got a Yankees-Dodgers World Series coming? I would agree. Bears won't win that many games. Why not? You checked out their roster and their coach? I mean, they won, 12 last year. Why wouldn't they win just as many this year? Who's better than them in their division? Adam Silver, the kind of guy to let his son tell him he's not going to go to school because his tummy hurts? I used to do that too, and they'd be like, get in the fucking car, we're going to school. If Amari Cooper gets 2,000 yards, he equals MVP? He'd have a shot, yeah. He's not getting 2,000 yards. I'd say the Niners, 9 or 10. I think 9 wins might win the NFC West. The Rams aren't going to be as good. Seattle's third best player they traded to the Chiefs. in Frank Clark. Check out their defensive line. Their pass rush is not great. They lost Doug Baldwin. Now, they're going to be good just because they're Seattle. But I'm telling you, I think 9 wins could win the NFC West. Who was the last MVP wide receiver? I think Jerry Rice won it maybe like 1989. I think he's the only guy to ever win it. And I'm not even sure 100% that's true. But I think Jerry Rice won the MVP. I can see the Bears taking a step back and win 10 games, still a great roster. Yeah, I think they're going to be really good. 49ers secondary scares me. Yeah, their secondary stinks. But a lot of teams' secondary stinks. Most good teams in the NFL, their secondaries aren't good. Just because you have a good secondary doesn't mean you guaranteed anything. Like, in theory, the Jacksonville Jaguars secondary was great last year. They sucked. Okay, adios. I'm out. May the peace be with you. Enjoy the day. Pass rush. Much more important. See you tomorrow. Podcast up right now. Haberman Middlekauff. 3 and Out podcast also up from earlier. Haberman Middlekauff. 3 and Out podcast. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. You want to go keep your hair, hairclub.com/ham. You want a bed, sleepnumber.com/ham. Again, I'm giving beds, I'm giving hair, I'm giving CBD. EaseWellness.com, promo code HAM, sleepnumber.com/ham. Peace.